Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving straight into the really profound, deeply transformative teachings of Eckhart Tolle. If you've ever felt completely exhausted by that constant buzzing noise in your own head, you know that relentless inner monologue? Well, you are absolutely not alone. We're going to figure out exactly how to escape that mental trap and step into a state of total, profound clarity.
Let's kick things off with a question that, honestly, kind of breaks your brain for a second and completely challenges how we perceive reality. Have you ever experienced, done, thought, or felt anything outside of the now? Like, do you think you ever will? Is that even possible?
Think about it. Absolutely everything you have ever done, felt, or thought has only ever happened in the present moment. And nothing will ever happen in the future either. It'll happen in the now. It's the literal one constant in our lives, and yet, ironically enough, it's the exact thing we are constantly trying to run away from.
So in this explainer, we're doing a really clear practical overview of Tolle's Practicing the Power of Now. This is essentially a manual designed to help us stop inflicting unnecessary suffering on ourselves and the people around us. We're going to unpack the whole shebang so you can actually apply this stuff to your daily life.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. 1. You are not your mind. 2. Entering the now. 3. Dissolving the pain body. 4. Conscious relationships. And finally, 5. The art of surrender. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, you are not your mind. We need to tackle our first major hurdle right out of the gate, and this is a really radical realization for most people. That incessant chattering voice in your head, it's not actually who you are. We are so incredibly used to it that we think it's normal, but Tolle actually calls it a dreadful affliction.
So, the crucial point here is contrasting these two distinct states. On one side, you have the thinker. That's your ego. The thinker is that anxious voice constantly stressing out about tomorrow's 9 a.m. meeting, completely driven by a fear of annihilation and totally obsessed with the past and the future. Then on the flip side, we have the watcher. The watcher, well, that is your true self. It's a calm, silent, alert presence that just observes the thinker, entirely without judgment.
And here's the real game changer. The exact second you step back and impartially witness that voice in your head, boom, a higher level of consciousness clicks on. You suddenly realize you are the awareness behind the thought, not the thought itself. When you just listen to a thought impartially, without judging or condemning it, that thought literally loses its power over you. It is the true beginning of freedom from compulsive thinking.
Section 2. Entering the now. So how do we actually pull this off? Now that we know we aren't our thoughts, how do we practically anchor ourselves in this peaceful state of the watcher, especially during, a super busy, stressful day? Tolle says we have to actively draw our consciousness away from our mind activity.
He gives us these incredibly practical, grounding ways to practice. When you walk up a flight of stairs, don't just dread the climb. Really feel every step. When you wash your hands, don't just rush through it. Actually feel the water, smell the soap. When you get in your car, instead of instantly raging at traffic or turning on the radio, just take a beat. Pause and observe your breath. You're taking everyday, mundane activities that are usually just a means to an end, and you're making them the end itself.
If you catch yourself getting tense, just remember this. Stress is literally the psychological split of denying the present moment. You are physically here, but your brain is desperately screaming to be there, somewhere in the future, and it tears you apart inside. The ultimate antidote is to pull your attention right back into the vibrant life of your inner body, right now.
Section 3, dissolving the pain body. All right, as we try our best to stay present, we are inevitably going to hit a major emotional roadblock. Tolle refers to this as the pain body, and wrapping your head around this concept is absolutely critical to finding peace.
What is totally fascinating here is that the pain body isn't a permanent personality trait. Nope, it's an accumulation of old emotional pain, a mind-made phantom, almost like a parasite living inside you. And here's the catch. It only survives if you stay unconscious. It feeds on negative thinking and emotional drama. It is utterly terrified of the light of your conscious presence.
So, when you feel any of these specific negative emotions flare up, maybe it's a sudden flash of anger because someone cut you off in traffic, or a wave of self-pity, or deep resentment over some petty text message. You are just watching the pain body wake up. It's trying to yank you out of the now so it can feed on your suffering. Your job isn't to fight it. Your job is just to observe it. Be the watcher. The moment you shine the light of your awareness directly on it, it can't use your mind to feed anymore. Section 4. Conscious relationships.
Let's pivot and see how this builds into our everyday interactions with the people around us. Because let's be real, it's one thing to be totally zen while washing your hands. It is a whole different ballgame trying to stay present during a heated argument with your partner.
If we absolutely refuse to face our own pain body, our relationships inevitably become addictive. We frantically use the other person as a distraction to unconsciously cover up our own underlying unease. And inevitably, when the honeymoon phase fades, the relationship just triggers all the chaotic pain you were already carrying around. But the alternative is an enlightened relationship. This happens when you bring intense, focused presence into your interactions. You don't judge the other person's unconscious behavior, you look right past it to their true being. You hold this deliberate, still space where grace can actually enter the room.
Section 5. The Art of Surrender. And that brings us to our final section, which is really the culmination of Tolley's teachings. It's the deeply misunderstood, yet highly practical concept of surrender. Honestly, for a lot of people, this word carries a ton of negative baggage.
Listen, surrender gets a bad rap. It isn't about weakness or just rolling over and giving up or being a victim to bad circumstances. Not at all. It is the active, vital process of fully yielding to the reality of what is happening right now. It means ending the mind's constant, exhausting resistance to what is. You can absolutely still take action to change your situation, but that action arises from a place of deep, conscious presence, rather than from angry, ego-driven resistance.
Don't look for peace. It sounds completely backwards, right? It's a total paradox. But Tolley explains that searching for peace actually places it somewhere out there in the future, which means you are denying the present moment. If you are not at peace right now, just forgive yourself for it. Seriously, the exact moment you completely accept your non-peace, that acceptance creates a space that actually transmutes the conflict into genuine peace. It is the absolute miracle of surrender.
When you finally just stop resisting life, when you drop the mind's compulsive need to control every little detail and simply accept the present moment exactly as it is, this profound, joyous stillness just bubbles up from inside you. It isn't something you have to build, it's something you uncover. It's the joy of being.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'm going to leave you with one powerful question. It's a choice you can make right now, without waiting for tomorrow or obsessively trying to fix yesterday. The joy of being is already inside you, just waiting underneath all that mental noise. So, will you choose to step out of the trap of your mind and be fully present in this exact moment?